Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another BTNeanderthal video. Today, we're going to be covering the, according to Senpai, I did talk to him, final patch notes, which he said, we'll see how final they are, but here's some very important information we're going to start off with, and that is this public service announcement, guys. Very important, in red text. Link in the description for this document. But we have changed the stat limits on enhanced damage, maximum damage per level, so you need to remove every item that has the mod enhanced damage or maximum damage per level on it if you plan on avoiding corruption on your single player characters. This includes all items such as normal, magic, rare, crafted, unique, and rune words. Basically anything that has enhanced damage or maximum damage, that was difficult to say, per level. It is extremely important if you want to keep your characters to remove them. You can also copy everything and move it over to a different folder and never update that. You could also do that. If you update that, you lose everything. But, so you could separate the two. If you want to do that, you could do it. But if you don't want to lose your characters, drop all that stuff. Very, very, very important. You will have to throw away jewels, enhanced damage mod on them. You will have to throw away items socketed with jewels or runes that give enhanced damage. You'll have to throw away unidentified items that could have enhanced damage on them. You will have to throw away any item with maximum damage per level. Very, very, very important, guys. If you want to keep them. In my opinion, just let them burn. That's what I'd say. It's a lot easier. Because if you miss one thing, corrupted. You miss one thing, you spend like an hour. Say you're playing Pluggy, and you will lowball it. Say you have 20 pages of items, right? Maybe not full, but you have to go through all that and make sure not one line says enhanced damage or max damage. Very, very important that you get rid of that. So, but I'd just delete them now and be like, it's okay, we can move on. New season, new life, let's go. That's up to you though, but that's the very important message, and I wanted to get that clear. Again, ED and max damage per level needs to be gone. Anyways, next thing is there's two main things here. So we have the full patch notes that have been released for season 3. And again, that's this link up here, which I'll put in the description. And here in the chat for the people that are watching live right now. So if you want to watch that, also thank you for the raid, Quilster. I did see that. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, so we have this. Now, if you have been staying up to date and you know what this is, the tier list that I've made, all that stuff. If you have this stuff and you are aware of what's been going on, you've been keeping up with my videos and the patch notes and all that stuff, then we're going to quickly cover what's different since then. At least some of the stuff. Again, I haven't read through the whole patch notes. We're going to read that afterwards, but we have some information here that is going to talk about some of the last changes it looks like from the closed beta. And those are here, okay? We're going to cover these, and those are here. So there's some bug fixes and stuff. We already saw some of these things. Yeah, so actually right here, this is a really cool change. I don't know if I covered this specific thing. So Tomb of Zoltan cool, damage, so some bugs. But this thing right here, I don't know if I mentioned this before. Look at this. Lord of Destruction zones will now have players 5 loot, and maps will have players 3 loot. That is way better, in my opinion, than the original patch that they did. I think the original patch that they did is better than it was. but I think this is the best possible patch you could do for the game's health. Because all the people that are complaining about casual players and all that stuff, like, now you have players 5 loot. If you can't get into maps anyways because you're casual, you can literally go farm the LOD areas, and it's the exact same way as it was. It's very strong area, and it also brings value to farming these areas once again, which in previous seasons it was just all about getting the maps ASAP. If you're not in maps, you're kind of losing out. Now you're actually going to have an advantage. They even increased the size of Arcane Sanctuary, for example. So now we have Ghosts with player 5 drops, good rune drops there. Chaos Sanctuary is another one. LK is not, touched. There's so many things that this opens up now that LOD zones are players 5 and maps are players 3. You guys might be like, well, that's a disadvantage for maps. You got to think about it like this. You have MF on maps, you have density on maps, you have experience on maps, and you have like these areas that you can just clear for a long extended period of time. LOD zones do not have any of that, right? So you kind of have to play the zone for what it is. So I think this is a very, very good change. Maps are still going to be superior in a lot of scenarios once you actually get your gear going and all that stuff. But prior to crazy gear and prior to really good gear, this is very, very good for the early game. I like this change more than the previous one. I think this is the best possible route we could do. I think this is the best one. So very happy about that. All right. So anyways, enough about that. We have reduced the cost of items with staff mods, which is cool because that can be expensive. Staff mods have a lower chance to roll +3 skills prior to level 30. So you can't gamble clubs or guitars. Silence thorns can now. It's a little bit of magic find adjustments here. You got thorns adjustments. You can now leech from Diablo in hell mode. Dragonflight, leap attack, and twister now show their proper synergies. And I was talking with Senpai back and forth on what this actually meant, because this can affect the tier list. Is pretty much twister is now at 22% synergy. It was apparently falsely at 24 or something previously. And leap attack now, just to double check here, I think is at 6%. So we're going to go leap attack. So synergies, he's talking about synergies, reduced from 10% to now 6%. He does have increased from 10% to 12% on the skill itself, though. So, and then again, we have AoE increase. And we have maximum leap speed again. So there's a lot of great changes with leap. Yes, it's less damage, but from the synergies, but now we have more base damage. So it means you'll actually have more damage earlier rather than later. So that's kind of interesting. I kind of could be good. I don't know what that's going to do in practice. We'll see. I don't think it's going to change leap attack so much. It might bring it down in the later stage of the game. Maybe like half a tier or something is my guess. I don't know. Again, speculation. I don't know. I don't have hands-on for this. So we'll see. And then Twister, I think it's a slight nerf in theory from what he's talking about when I asked him last night. But it should still be fine. Maybe again, half a tier. Maybe it's not S+ anymore in the early game. Maybe it's just S, but S builds are awesome. They're already great. So I don't think Druid is going to be thrown in the dumpster. I think they're fine. Leap attack, I think it's fine. Blizzard synergy reduced from 12% to 11%. This is also not really going to massively change anything. it will decrease the damage, that top end damage slightly. But again, because facets are a thing, and I was even reading, I was like watching Macro BioBoy stream earlier today. They've like added some slams such as the amulets with up to 15% pierce and stuff. I don't think Blizzard is losing its damage, really. So I don't think this would really move on the tier list, maybe slightly down, but it's definitely an S plus, or it's definitely an S build still. I do not think that this nerf is going to really change anything, personally. So, it just said Pierce. Just said Pierce. It could be Ellie. It could be Fizz. I don't know. It just said Pierce from what I understood. So, I don't know. Maybe it was projectile Pierce? I don't know. I just remember it saying Pierce. Anyways, Bender, thank you very much for the raid. Hopefully you're all doing good. We're currently covering the Project Diablo 2 Season 3 final patch notes. We'll see if it's final. So, I don't know. 100%. Thanks, guys, for being here. Now, Tiger Strike properly requires the 2 claws. We now have an attack rating buff. Vengeance AoE size has been increased by 40%. This could be good. Elemental damage per level increased from 2 to 3%. I think this damage is going to be bonkers. It's going to be bonkers, honestly. The damage was not the issue before. It was stuff like this. The AoE and the way the skill worked. So, Vengeance could be bumped up like 2 or 3 tiers, potentially. Again, I do not know. This is just spitballing, per se. So, some of the builds we've been talking about. Blizzard, maybe it'll go down here. Maybe down here. I don't think it's really going to move, though, personally. It might move down like twice. I don't think it's going to move that much. Leap attack, it could go down here. Maybe. I don't know. But it's not going to move much. And then the Wind Druid, we have, S plus in the early game. Maybe it's not S plus anymore. Maybe it's S. Maybe it's top of A. It's still going to be very good. The thing about Vengeance, though, which is the current skill we were talking about, which I currently put this here, it is a support character. This, honestly, could bring it to A tier. Maybe even top of A, because we are also a support character. And when I say it's a support character, what I'm talking about is Conviction. We are going to be using Conviction, and Conviction this season is extremely good to have a high level of it because of the amount of Pierce. The amount that Pierce affects your combat now. So, facets are very strong. Pierce is very strong. All this stuff is very, very good this season. And with these Vengeance changes with mass AoE, maybe it's not the fastest mapper, but I don't know, maybe some more of those condensed maps like Bastion's Keep or something. And with the combination of maybe Alma Negra, which I believe is maybe it's a different shield, but the one that gives you cooldown on your Joust. That shield, you could actually blast potentially with the Vengeance build now. We'll see. Those are very strong changes. Adding a whole additional percentage per level. And this is percentage damage. So all those charms that you got percentage increase. That's a huge buff. And then mass AoE. We'll see. Vengeance could be good. The following mods have their level requirement increased and chance to spawn reduced. Awesome. So we got Bloodletting, which is life after each kill. We got Murderous, more life after each kill, life after each kill. Bloodsucking, life after each kill. So these don't increase the level as drastically before. So now we're caught up. If you've been watching all my videos, now you're caught up. This is all pretty much the information you need to know, I think. again, talking with Senpai and trying to figure out what his patch notes are all the time can be difficult. So take my words with a grain of salt, man. Um, but let's go into the actual notes now. But one more time, just in case you didn't get it, because always gonna be people in the chat like, why didn't you tell me? You will lose all of your single player characters if you do not drop every single type of enhanced damage and maximum damage on your characters and your stash. There's your warning. General changes. So now there's announcements for events. It's kind of cool for like the first kill, different levels, hardcore deaths, stuff like that is pretty cool. Conviction aura from monsters now functions at LOD ranges and LOD values and ranges for auras, and now we have concentration instead of blessed aim. We already covered some of these things. And Holy Shock is changed to level 20 now, sub-level 20. Let's see here. Stackable items now stack with each other transferring, which we knew about that. Bale's now prime evil. The 511 ED cap is removed. Again, this is part of, I believe, this change here. This is to help, again, potentially future seasons and important things like that. Where you might be like, okay, I want to change the ED and stuff. I believe every 6 socket potential corruption is now 4 sockets. This includes bows and weapons and all that stuff. So that's cool. And then Larzik Puzzle Box now maxes out at 4. So we'll see how it goes. I kind of like it. We'll see how it actually goes. I don't know. It's always good to change things up. Act 3 now casts. So here's some Act 3 changes. I didn't get a chance to test these. Act 3 I tested the lightning one actually. That's very good in the early game. Add some of that pierce and some like elemental immunity breaking. Act 3 mercenaries have been reworked. Skill elemental mastery to provide life after each kill. Cold and fire have pierce. Okay, they changed their AI. Fire mercenaries now cast meteor and fireball. Cold is ice blast and blizzard. Lightning casts static and lightning. Their static field has had its AoE and duration increased greatly compared to regular static. It's basically the full screen. It's actually really cool. Blizzard projectiles hitbox has been increased by 50%. And this is why I don't think Blizzard is going to move at all on the tier list. It could move slightly. It might not be the best build in the entire game, but it's definitely very strong. So, enhanced damage, jewels, bug fix, which is awesome. Good job, Knight. Enhanced damage from dexterity, 0.5. So we got half the efficiency of what it was before per dex point. Act 3, damage reflect, pierce now works. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about earlier when I said pierce is very strong and the vengeance build is like really good support build because of conviction being such a high level, allowing more pierce below 0 and all that stuff. Very, very strong. It's going to be crazy how much pierce is actually important this season. So, mana burn has been rebalanced. Yep, so we got mana burn hopefully fixed. Now we have some different starting weapons. Again, you can read some of these things. I'm not going to try to go through everything in great detail. We also, something important to know, and here are the level mods, the affix levels, is magic, poison, cold, fire, and lightning. Also, percentage damage can spawn on large charms now. So large charms, you can pick it up. Honestly, we don't even need loot filters anymore, man. Why do we need loot filters? almost everything is good. It's a blue, you can craft with it. It's a yellow, well, we got more affixes. It could be good. It's a large charm, well, we got these rolls now. It's like, oh, it's damage? Well, we can keep that. Well, I guess white and one socket. I guess I'm exaggerating, but you can see what I'm saying. There's very few things that you want to actually filter out in comparison to previous seasons, and especially in comparison to LOD. So, then it goes over corruption changes. You guys can read about that again, links in the description to see what some of those corruption changes were. There was one that I want to check. Amulets. So we have 10 to 15% pierce is now a tier 2 corruption, replacing the 4 to 8 all res. Now, I think this means any pierce. I could be wrong. Maybe it's projectile pierce. Maybe I was right. Maybe Sky's right. It might be projectile pierce. He didn't say elemental. He didn't say fizz. So I'm assuming, I guess this is just like razor tail. I guess at this point now. This is a very cool change. I saw this happen. Evil urns now spawn in maps. So if you don't know what an evil urn is, basically if you're in Act 5 caves, there's these thing called evil urns. You click on it and a boss pack spawns. And it's just right there. You don't know where it is, but it's going to be right there as soon as you open it. This is a cool little thing, interactive thing you can do in the map now. I really like this. Map icons have been redone. You got different music. Chance to apply crushing blow on map modifiers has been increased. Open wounds on modifiers have been reduced. That's good. Open wounds is a pain in the butt. Increased monster attack speed modifier increased. So it made the maps more sketchy. Did he actually keep vigor? Yeah, he did. Okay. Yeah, he kept vigor. We're good. We're going to have some seriously fast monster packs that you're going to get shredded by. And I'm kind of excited because I want to get shredded by a freaking nasty monster pack. Extra fast, extra strong, fanat, vigor, might, concentration packs. Oh, that sounds rough. I love it. Yeah, the evil urns, dude. Oh my god. It's going to be sick. So, map bosses are now prime evils. Oh, you can now shoot over the horizon memory and stuff. And now, succubus from map mods can no longer fly out of bounds. Perfect. Prefix values, suffix values rechanged. Now we got Zoltan Cool is now tier 2. Sewers is tier 2. They also removed the snakes, if I remember correctly, and added dolls? Not dolls. I don't remember what they added. Somebody in chat can correct me. Flares. Yeah, okay. Little flare dudes, right? Blood Moon in tier 3. And twice as rare, so it's no more easy cow maps. And they added 3 new maps here. Fall Chaldeum, Rez's map, and Pandemonium Citadel. They look pretty cool. So, very excited about those. Dungeons. This is very cool because dungeons have always been something I was excited about since PD2 was announced in the first place. Dungeons. Monsters now grant 200% more experience. Now remember, maps have been reduced across the board, basically. So this could make dungeons more valuable, make the scarabs more valuable. Maybe people do a 99. Maybe this is worth. I don't know. The only issue is they're now more dangerous monsters, which is good. I don't think it was challenging enough in a way that was fun, per se. It was just kind of slow before. But you also have a reason behind it, because now 1 in 1,000 chance to drop declone items and on dungeon bosses. And there's 2 bosses per map. Dungeon is a very, very, very difficult map that senpai quote, not able to do solo. It's not solo content. Ubers now have different colors, which is great. They have 100% drop rate. Zones, you can teleport everywhere now. They got rid of no tele zones. Thank you so much. 72 with the 49 months. Tier 3 sub. Beast. Thank you, dude. And now, when you get the organs, we make a Pandemonium Talisman, which has to be made in near the blood fountain in Haragoth. This does not open a portal. This just throws you and your party, whoever is near the blood fountain, right into the map without any exit until you kill all of them. So it's a lot more serious. You can't get out of the Ubers, you can't get out of Declone until you kill them. So gotta be careful with that. Also, now hardcore players are going to be happy to hear, even high level pushers. I know this happened to Lucky last season. You can't just open up the Declone / the Ubers and throw your whole party in if they're in town thinking they're safe while they're AFK, going to the bathroom, whatever the heck they're doing. Now you can safely stay in town because you have to go over to the blood fountain in Haragoth, which is roughly where Neilthak is before he betrays your ass. Diablo clone has a short delay. He increased the drop chance from 1 in 500 to 400 now. So more declone items should be happening this season. We'll see. PvP changes. I do not know PvP, so good luck, guys. Have fun. Vampire Mana Leech, and then there's some rare changes here. You guys can read about these things if you're interested. The gist is he adjusted crafting for all these new affix changes. So he might have reduced the cast rate on, let's say, an armor or a shield when you make a caster craft, because now you can actually roll, for example, 20 FCR on an armor or shield. So that's an example of that. We're going to skip through a lot of these things. Again, if you're interested in a specific one, you can go into the link in the description here. But yeah, there's just a whole lot of affix changes, and this is part of the reason why you have to drop your ED and max damage per level items. We got new mods here too, which is good. We're going to keep scrolling though. Crafting changes, kind of what I said before. Like, they have been adjusted. There's ones that have been added as well. You can take a look at those here as well. Skill balance changes. Yeah, I think we're pretty much getting to the end here of what we actually need to cover in this video. We got the unique items. And roughly speaking, this tier list is ready, I think. I think you could play this and expect at least it to be roughly correct. People think that my Thorns Pally idea is terrible, but the fact that Thorns actually kills things, I'm impressed. Yes, you can attack, you can use left click, you can do whatever the heck you want. But if you're stacking Thorns, dude, you ain't stacking ED. That's all I gotta say about that. Where are we? So, unique changes. We got a bunch of unique changes. What were some ones that were interesting? I think that Death's Fathom, always at 30 FCR, is kind of cool. I believe Death's Web. Does it say anything about it? No, maybe not. Death's Web. It seemed like the last patch, it was... Holy frick, dude. The last patch was... Now it only pierces... It now only pierces up to 20%. Holy crap, dude. Thank you very much, Fort Reaper, for freaking 20 gifted subs. Get some hype in the chat. Even if you're watching on YouTube, get some hype in the comments, dude. This guy is carrying the team. Let's freaking go. Making these videos possible. So, yeah, just a bunch of changes. Grimm's Burning Dead. I'm just going to say that. And then you guys can make your own opinion about that. Here's one thing I will mention. K. Hegan's Wisdom. And I've said this a million times. I don't think he's adjusted it. K. Hegan's Wisdom. What page are we on? 55. Just scroll to make sure I'm not missing anything that I didn't know. Okay. K. Hegan's. Now rolls 1 to 2 skills. This thing is going to be insane for Season 3. It is ridiculously strong. You're going to want it. You're going to want it. You're going to want to farm it. It's actually not that hard to farm. You can even get it in Nightmare. Like, I don't know. It's going to be nuts. So, we'll see how this affects the economy. But, K. Hegan's Wisdom's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. But that's pretty much it. Probably another thing to know is, like, that Enigma has been changed. We covered this in the past. You now have 5 charges that replenish every 3 seconds. Not all 5, but 1 replenishes every 3 seconds. This almost unlocks the full power of Enigma. Almost in combat. It's good. Maybe not so much in the LOD content, but it's a lot better than previous patches, and I think it's very useful. Now, if you're actually going to use Enigma in maps, then I think Enigma is almost full, again, almost full potential unlocked there in maps now. So, yep. This is a very exciting patch. I'm excited overall. I will see you guys tomorrow, I guess. We'll be blasting this whole weekend is the current plan. I'm planning on playing Blizzard Sorceress, so let me know what you guys are going to be playing. Are you going to be playing in a group? Are you going to be playing solo? Tell me about your experience. What do you want to do this season? Thank you all for watching. I know this was a video a little bit on the longer side, but I think we covered everything that we wanted. Again, one more time, just so I don't hear it tomorrow that you didn't warn us. You see this public service announcement? Drop your ED and max damage duels. Or items. Items. All the ED. All the max damage per level. Just get it out. Get it out of there. So, anyways, thank you all for watching, guys. Much love. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck in Season 3. You guys are beasts.